Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. The Winter Wildcards leaks are getting even more interesting, as the original news that these cards would only have one playstyle plus was wrong. We have official stats confirming otherwise to take a look at today for cards upcoming in Winter Wildcards, but that is a lot of people asking the question, what happened to the slower power curve, especially getting into this time of the year. Last year in FC25, this is where we saw the power curve start to get out of control a little bit, with 2 playstyle pluses in Winter Wildcards and then 3 in Team of the Year. Are we on the same trajectory now that these cards coming on Friday are going to have 2 playstyle pluses? We're going to talk about that today. But apart from that whole conversation, we have W content starting for Winter Wildcards already, with a bit of a menu grind that we already have with SBCs that were dropped yesterday. Plus, the market is still cooked, but is the panic over for some cards? We'll talk about that today. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Let's look over yesterday's Monday content, which EA actually did a couple of very nice things for us. The first nice thing that they did was allow us to qualify for Weekend League FUT Champions without playing Rivals. Right now, Rivals is the place where we have to get our Champs qualification points to unlock FUT Champs each and every week. Even if you're in a higher division and it doesn't take you many games, once you start playing Rivals, then you kind of feel like you have to finish to at least get your 15 points to get to some rewards, right? A little bit of FOMO. But this week, with the live events we have going on, the Unbreakables League, we've got the Season 3 World Tour Silver Superstars. We even still have the Season 3 Evo Cup that is out. If you play 7 matches in any of those modes, you can get your Weekend League qualification points unlocked. This gives you 1,000 points, and that way you do not have to play Rivals this week. So it's a nice little small thing that EA is doing to kind of make us realize that we don't have to play every single game mode. I know that a lot of us, and even myself, feel like we got to get everything done because we want all the packs, we want all the rewards, and that's fine if you want to put in the grind. But you can skip Rivals this week if you don't want to add that to your plate as well. Get into some of the live events and tournaments that do have better rewards. Honestly, I think that's most people would say is that this Unbreakables League specifically has great rewards, but even the World Tour Silver Superstars has some big packs in it. So if you want to chase that or make progress in the Evo Tournament Cup, you can do that over playing Rivals this week. So that's nice, nothing crazy, but that is nice. We did not have any new evolutions yesterday as a part of content. We'll look for maybe another one today on Tuesday, but the good content was in the SBCs. Starting off with a new player SBC for Lacey Santos, Tiki Taka Plus, very cheap card, 5'1", 4-star with really good stats. I bet she is very good in game with the incisive, with the finesse, got the first touch in the press proven, and very good rolls as well. This is a pretty cheap SBC to get done if you would like to try this card out for an 84 rated squad in a team of the week. So honestly, for 20K, it's a pretty solid card for the cheap price. That's not one of the good SBCs that we had, though, yesterday. We also had the Unbreakable Challenge, too. That's for a tradable premium Electrum pack. Not bad. But the 2 good SBCs that we had, first of all, were the 78+ player pick coming back. And I did a couple of these last week. It actually feels like a good old upgrade player pick that you can do multiple times now, because we just have more rare golds and common golds in our club because of the daily gold upgrade packs that have been out for a while, but because of the huge W that EA dropped yesterday with the Winter Provisions Upgrade SBC. Guys, this is a must complete every single day for the next 17 days that it is out, because this solves the problem of us not having enough gold commons and gold rares. GG to EA for dropping this SBC. Now, the thing with this is, and the way I want to explain this to you guys is, those 40 gold cards would cost you about 20 to 21,000 coins if you just went to buy them from the market. This SBC, 8K. This is great value when you look at it as buying 3 85 rated cards, or maybe using a bit of the menu craft and grind that you can do right now to get 85 rated cards and get these done. You are going to have an absolutely stocked club of gold rares and gold commons now or during Winter Wildcards, when it's going to be the most important for the Winter Wildcards crafting upgrade that is confirmed to be a part of this year's promo as well. It's in almost every year of Winter Wildcards. It's one of the marquee parts of the promo that we look forward to. A really good menu grind, including this specific upgrade pack, and this is coming back according to FUT Police leaks. That's what this SBC is really meant to do. Allow us to menu grind during this promo, but you can actually do it right now. A lot of people are asking, Nate, should I do these packs right now and open them? Or should I hold on to them? I think both are the right answer, to be honest. I did these yesterday and I opened them because I'm still trying to pack Christian Eriksen. I haven't got him yet from this promo. So I'm opening 78 plus player picks, and I did a whole bunch of those 78 plus player picks. There's actually a little bit of a menu grind you can do at the moment. Do your daily bronze, silver, and golds. Do those winter provisions packs by getting 385s into the SBC, repeating that 4 times, opening those, getting all the rares and commons you can, and then just hammer the player picks. From there, the player picks are going to help you fund maybe the last 85 plus times 2s before they go away today. The 85 to 87 upgrade packs as well, because that's an 83 rated squad. If you want to get those done, that'll give you some 85s that you could turn back in to the winter provisions pack as well, or any other like cheaper SBCs that you want to do. So it's not a crazy upgrade pack grind that we have right now, but whether you're opening those winter provisions packs or whether you are saving, they are incredible. And the fact that they are out for so long is going to set us up for a really good menu grind in this game for the next 17 days, which is great. Now, you might say, Nate, 385s, that does seem like a lot. Well, the price of the 85s are starting to go up, and this SBC is going to probably become a little more expensive than 8K, but even if 85s go to 3.5K, you're still going to end up paying less than 20,000 coins for 20,000 coins worth of cards, if that makes sense. And you don't have to go buy all those gold commons and rares for yourself. That takes time. You just got to go do the SBC. So I was saying yesterday on the stream, buy the 85s, 2.2, 2.3K. Even after they had gone up, I was saying buy. They're up to 2.8K. So if you invested in these, I think what you're doing is you're lazy listing around 3.5, maybe even 4,000 coins, like 3.5 to 3.9K is where I'd lazy list those. You will probably get some sales. They might even go to 3,000 coins today, the second day that this SBC is out. And maybe it's even smart to start buying 86s because those are also 3,000 coins. And if those become cheaper than 85s, which we've seen crazier things, those might be better to put into this SBC, but it is worth to buy those if you need to. But what I'd say is do a little bit of the upgrade pack grind right now. The 85 to 87 can get you some of those 85s. At the very least, doing 78 plus player picks can get you some of those 85s as well, and you can craft those SBCs. One of the reasons that some people are saving those and not opening and doing the menu craft right now is because they don't want to have all those gold commons and rares potentially go into their duplicate storage. And that is a very good shout. If you're going to open those, but you don't want to open player picks because you're saving all your other packs, I would save your provisions SBC packs until winter wildcards and until the crafting SBC and objective comes out. But that was the best part of content yesterday, and it really shows us that we are about to have a really good menu grind during winter wildcards. Now, speaking of prices going up on the market, there's not that many prices going up on the meta cards. I just did flip a Taram from 1.23 to 1.34, so that was nice, but still the market is mostly going down. I lost coins on Vieira, right? A lot of these cards here I made coins on, but some of them I lost, and my coin value, my coin total isn't up that much because of it. But if you take a look at some of the prices, Jude Bellingham, remember when he was 1.4 mil yesterday? Yeah, he's 1.1 million coins. Yap Stam was 1 million coins as well. Now he's 800K. Look at Bukayo Saka, 650 at the moment. And even yesterday, he was still 800,000 coins. The market still dropped off a lot yesterday. Claudia Pina went from 390 all the way down to 320,000 coins where she is now. Kylian Mbappe is in the 1.5 mil range. I still think he can go a little bit lower, but what I want to discuss today, because Weekend League is ending and because we've now had 2 or 3 days in a row of just pure panic selling, is trying to answer the question, are we near the end? Is the panic selling almost over? And will we actually start to see some prices rebound a little bit today? I think there's a potential opportunity for some rarer, more expensive cards, like maybe some of these icons, like the Taram that I bought at 1.2, right? We were talking about him in yesterday's video, thinking that 1.4 might be decently low. Well, 1.2 is where he was at. Will he go back down there that low? Maybe he won't. Maybe some of the absolute lowest prices that we would have seen for some of these top tier icons, rare out of pack special cards would have been yesterday in the panic that we saw. However, are prices going to crazy rebound today? No. What you might see is just the end of the panic and some cards rebounding back up a little bit. But I wouldn't say that that's going to be the story for every expensive card today. Like Frankie de Jong yesterday went from 900 down to 770. I bought one right here and I sold him for 830. he's still like 830K. He could very easily go back down to 770K again, and still there's the potential that Joga Bonitos, the Thunderstrucks, and the Unbreakables could get re-released back into packs. So those cards to be very careful with. But like I'm saying with some of the icons out of packs cards, maybe Chiellini, who was as low as 600K flat yesterday, maybe he goes back up to like 630 or 640. I don't think you have to be buying for your team right now, but I would say there could be some cards that just kind of rise back up because the panic is ending, but I really don't feel like we can say we have true demand in this market yet. Right now, it still feels like everybody is going to be waiting to see what Winter Wildcards delivers, and the fact that we have the leaks of 2 Playstyle Plus icons does worry me a little bit for some of those more expensive players, even though they're super rare, like Eusebio's Thunderstruck card, right? That's a card who I've seen drop a lot recently, but think about this card, right? Sure, he's 3.9 million coins. He was down as low as 3.6, but like 2 Playstyle Plus icons are coming out. Somebody who can afford this card is probably going to get pretty interested in this card or any of the other 2 Playstyle Plus players that we are starting to see from the Winter Wildcards promo. So I still think the market's in a place where you want to be very careful at the moment. I want to see more news and info on how this is going to shake out with this promo. However, maybe we do see a few cards rebound back up today, and you could have an opportunity to make some quick flips, but I wouldn't say it's buy time for any teams just yet. Now, let's talk about Winter Wildcards and the news that really broke yesterday very early in the day that we will have 2 Playstyle Plus Winter Wildcard items. And this came as a big surprise, of course, after just 2 days ago, yesterday even, not even 2 days ago, after yesterday, people were saying that it was only going to be 1 Playstyle Plus on these Winter Wildcard players. That was changed when official stats started to be leaked for these players. Like Ronaldinho is going to go up his first promo card of the year, +1 overall, +1 maybe on all of his different stats, but 2 Playstyle Pluses. That is a big deal because we know how important Playstyle Pluses and Playstyles in general are to this game. Playstyles mean more than stats. They matter more than stats in game 100%. And the fact that we're going to 2 Playstyle Pluses doesn't really feel like the power curve is slowing down. That is the real question that we have right now. Is EA scrapping the slower power curve? Because in some ways it seems like they are by doing this, but in other ways it doesn't seem that way. Let's talk about it a bit more. This Dino looks crazy, by the way. Finesse plus and tech, even with just the small +1 boost. That is a very different card than this base Dino item. Looking to the rest of the leaked cards that we have right now for Winter Wildcards Team 1, these are all official stat cards, by the way. We've got Zidane with only 1 Playstyle Plus. We've got Zlatan with 2, low driven and acrobatic. Julie Foudy is in the team. Luis Figo. We got 2 Valverdes, 2 Dembeles, a Collier, a Gabriel who looks very good, a McAllister who also looks very good, Claudia Pina who's got 85 pace on a left wing version with Tech Plus, and an 88 striker version with 90 shooting, 89 dribble, and low driven plus. I will say it right now, the player of the month is still looking like probably the best option, unless maybe that left wing Tech Plus version has Cam, because I think a center attack in mid position on Claudia Pina would be very, very desired by a lot of people. However, she's getting 2 cards, of course, there. Jonathan Tah looks like he's going to be a crazy center back, along with the Gabriel. Cordoba has 2 versions, a right back and a center back. Rodman has 2 versions, and Rafael Leao. Now, there's a couple more cards leaked, but to continue the conversation, the reason why this has kind of taken us aback a bit, wow, we're going to 2 Playstyle Pluses right away. Even though it doesn't look like it's on very many players, the fact that we're going there right now puts us on the same trajectory as last year in FC25. Again, I know last year we had more players, like even regular promo cards with 2 Playstyle Pluses, and it looks like this year it might just be a couple of the icons, but more so it's the precedent, right? Just like last year, EA is putting 2 Playstyle Pluses on these cards during Winter Wildcards, them raising the ceiling right now and doing that, even though these cards are going to be super duper expensive, is still, I think, a bit of a problem, because what do they do with Team of the Year now? That is my biggest question with this. I'm not saying that 2 Playstyle Pluses are going to become the normal, but last year, the reason the power curve got out of control right around this time of the year was 2 Playstyles became the new desirable feature for these cards, because we had a good number of them that allowed that. And I think we maybe even had that attacking avalanche evolution that gave us our first 2 Playstyle Plus players as well. Maybe that was just 1 Playstyle Plus, but during Winter Wildcards, we started to see that, and that made us want 2 Playstyle Pluses. And then by the time we got to Team of the Year, EA had to make Team of the Years really interesting, so they made them 3 playstyle pluses, and then the whole rest of the game was still stuck on maybe 1 playstyle plus and a few cards in your team with 2. And that was where the power curve last year in FC25 really was an issue. It was a big problem last year because of Winter Wildcards and Team of the Year and the way things started moving, and that is what EA said they were going to change this year, a slower power curve. Now, I do want to say we have absolutely seen a slower power curve this year in terms of the stats that they've boosted on these special cards. Like, I think of promo players like Valverde. Remember when we saw his gold card compared to his Cornerstones card? Same thing with like Florian Wirtz. Very small stat upgrades, and they still stayed with 1 playstyle plus. We have seen the impacts of a slower power curve, and you can still say this is slower because it is to a degree. But now this makes me worried for Team of the Year. Our Team of the Year is going to have 3 playstyle pluses, or are they going to stay at 2? And will Team of the Years seem as royalty, as insane, as special as they should be if they're still only on 2 playstyle pluses? That is my biggest question that I have right now. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts down below in the comments in terms of this. I know we like to compare year over year for the power curves. I think the FC24 power curve, which kept Winter Wildcards at 1 playstyle plus, I believe, maybe just a couple of them had 2. I have to go back and look. I think that was a bit better of a situation, and that's why I was a bit excited yesterday when I saw that these Winter Wildcards would still only have 1 playstyle plus, but now it looks like there are going to be a few with 2. Guys, by the way, this is not the full leaked team. No chance this is the full leak side. There are a couple more players that are leaked. We've got Loriente, we've got Shada from Brentford. A couple other names definitely need to be leaked as well. This is a multiple team promo, and this is not as big as the Winter Wildcards team from last year. So we're definitely looking out for some more leaks in terms of what icons could have 2 playstyle pluses, and if any other of the regular promo cards will have 2 playstyle pluses as well. But I'm guessing they won't because Ousmane Dembele only has 1. Also yesterday, EA was out here teasing new Winter Wildcard heroes. This would be like 3 new heroes that have not been added into the game yet. And then Foot Sheriff leaked right afterwards that it would be Pizarro, Zamorano, and Jill Scott. Those are the 3 new heroes that are coming during Winter Wildcards. They do not have base versions yet in the game. Well, except for Pizarro, as of course EA added his mistakenly early. But Zamorano and Jill Scott are going to join Pizarro in the game as Winter Wildcards. Those are predicted stats. Those will be released probably during Team 1 because as EA is posting this right now. Or maybe it's going to be like 1 per team because it seems like we're going to have 3 Winter Wildcard sides. That's just a part of the leaks that we have right now for Winter Wildcards there. Now, let's turn to a little bit more of the Winter Wildcards leaks, specifically with the SBCs, because that is one of the biggest parts of this promo that we look forward to every single year. The player SBCs, the daily player SBCs. Here's 2 names that we have. The first one is Alexander Isak, and I'm saying this as a person who used Isak early on this year. His Finesse Plus, even before Finesse Plus was as OP as it is now, was very good. He has Game Changer, he has Low Driven, he has Rapid Base Playstyle, very solid card in game. Different from a Claudia Pina or different from a short, very good with left stick dribbling type striker. Still going to be a good card in game though. It all comes down to the Playstyle Plus, to the stat boost, and the price. These are not official stats in this card. We do not have the official stats yet, but Isak is a pretty big name and could be a very good SBC. We'll just have to see, again, how good the stat boost is and what the price is. The other leaked SBC we have right now is Diani. Also going to be a very good card in game, arguably a more meta, you could say, than Isak might be. She also could have Finesse Plus. We'll see if EA change up the Playstyle Plus here for her card, but, you know, her linking to Dumornay, that would be a pretty crazy attack combo in the game. She's got the Finesse Plus in her base gold. She's 4-star, right-footed, can play right mid, right wing, and striker, and has the Game Changer, Quick Step, Enforcer, and the technical base playstyles on her base gold item. So this actually has potential to be a really good SBC as well, but that also begs the question, is there going to be a bigger name icon, or is this it? Like, we're expecting a lot of Winter Wildcards regular player SBCs, like, you know, the ones we had last year. That won't be that expensive, but they'll be fun to do. There should be some emotional cards. Hopefully EA have some fun with that. But will there be any icons? That is one thing I'm so curious about, because I think a lot of us have fond memories of the Winter Wildcards Rude Hullet SBC from FC24, because that was just a big name icon that was kind of a little bro version that we could craft and we could grind. And if there was something like that this year, That would be phenomenal. I know we have icon match day player picks. We just had the Garincha and the Dalglish, but it just hits different when you have a promo version of an icon that you can craft and grind towards and put into your team for a while. Especially, I'm not going to say that a promo icon SBC would have 2 playstyle pluses. I don't think EA is going to give that out. I think only 2 playstyle pluses are going to be in packs for at least a while. But like that's just emotional, and that usually brings really good SBCs when we have those Winter Wildcards icons, kind of the big Friday promo drop, like the big marquee player. So I'm waiting to see if we get any leaks around that, because if these are the best 2 SBCs that we get, that is a little bit underwhelming. So we are definitely watching for more news related to that and evolutions, because we don't have much right now. But to round out the Winter Wildcards leaks that we have for today, we do know that a daily login and a ×10 upgrade pack is going to be coming very soon as a part of this, which is literally just the exact same sort of content that we had during Black Friday, but it's the content that we love during these big promos. Now, the ×10 upgrade pack, that is a topic for discussion related to today's content, because the 85 plus ×2 upgrade pack is going away. Would EA put out like an 82x10 this early? I don't think that they would, but similarly to Black Friday, EA knows right now that we are a couple days away from the big promo, and like they did during Black Friday, they could start releasing some of those upgrade pack SBCs ahead of time that they know we will want to save for the promo, right? They kind of just did that with the winter provisions to get us ready for the crafting, but will they drop the 8210 today? I feel like it's unlikely. I feel like they could drop, you know, another 85 ×2 or another sort of pack like this that we would want to save for for winter wildcards. I would just be curious to know what the requirements of it are going to be and what that pack is. Remember, we did see some packs in the code that was like an 83x12 or an 82x15. I don't know if those are going to end up being SBCs or if those are going to be in objectives, but whatever upgrade pack does come out today, I think it would be something that we would want to save with our pack stash. So just be ready for the daily logins and be ready for the ×10 upgrades, whether they start today or if it's a few days down the line. Last Winter Wildcards leak to look at. We'll talk a little bit more about today's content on Tuesday. There were some card designs added to the code. These are official card designs of Winter Wildcards variants. It kind of looks like a red pick and a red version of an icon. And then this one is just interesting and different in its own right. Purple, pink. I don't know what's going on there. But those card designs were added to the code. Again, we already have Winter Wildcards designs in the game, of course, because you've got Zola and EA have already added those cards into the game so you can see them and stuff like that. But red versions of these, really, really intriguing. I hope these are a lot more than just a cosmetic evo to make your card look cool. If these cards have meaning and there's some interesting aspect to them, that would be dope. A lot of people, again, you see the red and you're like, maybe red picks. To me, that doesn't look red enough for red picks, but I could be wrong. We will have to wait and see what the news is regarding that. We're still, like I've been mentioning, we're still so far away from this promo. Like, I know it's Tuesday, but Friday's a long ways away. There's a lot of news that we still have yet to learn about what could potentially be coming out. Evolutions we have really no info on right now at the moment, and especially a lot of player SBCs and some of the other SBCs we could get in this promo, usually like a level up in terms of the icon packs. Will we get our first icon pick of the year? I know it sounds crazy to say, but like, it could be coming, guys, because we have a base icon upgrade right now that is 3 times repeatable. It's expiring in 5 days. Even sometime soon this week, could we see our first icon pick? Like, it's not out of the possibility that we would see a leak for that. So that's another one of the reasons why you want to be a little careful in the market. I know that you're seeing me here on this video buy a Vidic for 1.22. I'm going to risky flip this and see if we can sell him for above 1.3 today, because all of your weekend league supply is gone. People are saving packs now. This is one of the most hyped up and meta center backs in the game. So I'm going to see if we can get a good flippuccino going there on that card. Maybe if I can pick up a Saka for 650K again like he just was, I'll try to do that as well. But other than that, I'm going to be pretty safe on the market in terms of that for today. But I do think that we still have a lot of Winter Wildcards leaks to come. And you know, those leakers, if there's big news, they're going to be tweeting out those bombazo emojis, and they will be talking a lot about the hype that is upcoming, whether it is truly worthy of the bombazo emojis and the hype or not. They'll definitely be discussing it. Now, last thing to talk about for today's content on Tuesday, we still have a couple of SBC players ready to be released. Udol has not been dropped yet, and Alex Baena has not been dropped yet either. I think those would be the 2 most likely candidates to get an SBC today. And I also want to shout out Evolutions, not because there's an Evo leak, because there's not right now. But often what we see is Evo leaks the day of. We actually get an Evo. I don't know if there's an Evo expiring today. I've kind of been on top of my Evos recently. You guys would be proud of me. We're cooking through some evolution combinations at the moment with the Athlete Lab and Jarzinho. I say that because I often get cooked because I sometimes don't finish my evolutions, and we'll get them done. Don't you worry. But I think there's a possibility that we could get an evolution today in here. I think it would be leaked ahead of time. It's hard to tell right now looking on the market what may be leaked for an evolution. If the leakers have info, I'm sure that we'll be seeing it today. But if we do have an Evo, I don't think it would be anything super crazy. It might be yet again another chain evolution. But also when I'm thinking about, oh, we maybe get an evolution, we've had so many Evos that have been dropped, especially in objectives here. Maybe we won't get too many more before we head into winter wildcards and potentially get those flash evolutions back. So really today for Tuesday, it's a new upgrade pack, potentially a new evolution. And the one thing I do want to mention, because I'm about to play it right now before hopping on for the night, is playing a couple games of Rush, because we got to get this Flash Rush event done if you want to get the Brood Finisher and if you want to get the Sticky Shoes evolution. You have to get that done before content today. It is a double points rush mode, so that is very helpful. But that is there. And I think, yeah, the weekly rush points are going to reset as well. So there's a couple more packs that you might be able to save for winter wild cards. Let me know in the comments, guys, what questions you may have and what you think about the whole situation with the power curve. I'm a little uneasy. That's the best way to describe how I feel about the power curve right now after seeing the news that it's going to be 2 playstyle pluses on some of the icons, although it doesn't look like it's going to be many of them. Still, that makes me really curious about Team of the Year. I don't want the same mistake as last year with Team of the Year cards being too good and then honestly cooking the game for the next number of months, because everything else with 1 and 2 playstyle pluses just did not feel as good enough compared to the Team of the Year Avalanche 3 playstyle plus Evos or Team of the Year Blueprint Evo that it was, or if you got lucky and actually packed the Team of the Year card. So that's my worry with the whole situation, the power curve. We'll see if EA say anything about it. They've been radio silent. I've been talking about this in the stream. EA's been radio silent recently. They popped up a message in game yesterday about squad battles difficulty being changed. Well, we knew about that literally 6 weeks ago from the patch that actually changed squad battle AI difficulty. We need them to come out and give us some more info, man. Like, the constant communication we had at the start of the game was very good, and we don't have that as much anymore. Anyways, I'll stop yapping. Have a great Tuesday, guys. I will see you in the stream today. I'll be looking at the market, looking at the leaks, and being very smart with our gameplay decisions, because we got to play a lot of games, and we got to get a lot of packs saved up for winter wildcards. Maybe we'll pack a 2 playstyle plus icon. I would want Zlatan. Let me know in the comments what icon you'd want or what player you want from winter wildcards 2 that is leaked so far. Anyway, guys, that's the video for me today. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it, comment, let me know if you have any questions, of course, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys in the video tomorrow. Peace out.